The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an absolutely amazing week. I'm excited to connect in with you. We've been doing a series this month about springing forward. We've been reflecting on the beginning of the year, how we started in January, how February is looking, and then looking ahead as we seek to spring forward. And this morning, my husband was commenting on how much rain we're getting. So we're getting some rain in our area right now. And with that rain, he was grumbling a little bit because he does some of his work is outside, and it's not a lot of fun to work outside in the rain for him, which I understand. But at the same time, we need that rain. And we were just kind of reflecting on that this rain that is coming in is really powerful to help us spring forward. And sometimes we don't always look at rain as something we're leaning into or excited about, just like storms that we can have in our life. Yet, if we lean into them, we look for that silver lining, a lot of that rain or those storms can actually help us dig our roots in deeper, slow down a little bit, so we can be purposeful in our next steps in how we move forward. Because we get so busy in life, sometimes we need a little rain to slow us down so that we can dig our roots in deep, take a breath, give ourselves that gift of pausing and breathing so that we can actually decide our next step, where we want to stretch, where we want to grow, how we want to bring that forward. And today we're going to have real conversations, candid conversations about money and grief, loss. These are sometimes not our favorite subjects, but they're the ones that we need so much help and support in. So I'm really excited that we have some amazing, loving, powerful, and knowledgeable experts today. They're going to walk right beside us in looking at money and looking at loss and grief, and how do we navigate through these areas on purpose in a way that we are feeling more in line with who we are and more powerful as we start to navigate through. So let's breathe that in for a moment. That we can actually get support around money and loss, grief and loss. That we can have people walk beside us, and it can actually be a journey that strengthens us, that empowers us, that helps us get more in touch with who we truly are and how we truly want to be in life and what matters to us that we want to bring forward. So I'm really excited for this conversation. Very honored to have you leaning in and joining us today. But I want to make sure you get as much out of our time together as possible. So to do that, I'm going to encourage you to be fully present. And what I mean by that is not just in your body, not just it's on and I'm here. I want you to really be open and ready to receive what is here for you, because it is not an accident that you tuned into our time together today. There is something here for you, and I want you to get it. I want you to receive it. So those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Keep both hands on the wheels, eyes open, but inwardly tuning in, ready to receive whatever it is that is here for you, because we have lovingly prepared this show just for you. Those of you who are not driving, I invite you to put both feet on the floor. Feel that floor supporting you. Picture yourself having your roots go in deep through the floor, that you are supported for our time together today and throughout your life. Just kind of feel that support. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Beautiful. And out through your mouth like through a straw. Wonderful. One more big breath. And with this breath, as you breathe out, close your eyes. You're absolutely safe in this space that we've created with this breathing. Feel yourself becoming fully present. Any stress levels, cortisol levels lowering as you breathe in that beautiful oxygen, so supporting every single cell of your body. Keep breathing. And in this space, heart to heart, I ask you, what is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, support you? Particularly around looking at grief, looking at money. What is it you need today that will equip and empower and support you? Just feel into that. Receive that information. It can come in pictures and unknowing images, information, however you receive information. And then let's add in an additional layer to this. So what is it that you need today, are willing to receive? So you need and are willing to receive. See if that alters the information a little bit. Because frequently there are things that we need, but we try to figure out the how. We get attached to the how, and we're not always willing to receive because we have choice. So what is it that you need today and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Take a breath. Wonderful. Come back into the room fully present. And let's write that information down. Write down so you can keep it top of mind what it is that you need today and are willing to receive. Because it's so easy to get distracted and forget, and I want you to remember and have it top of mind. Be willing to receive exactly what is here for you today and throughout the day that will support, equip, and empower you. Beautiful. Let's breathe that in. Wonderful. And I'm going to go around our virtual room so that you can connect in with our amazing experts just on a heart level right now. And I'd love for you, Pamela, to share just about 30 seconds, something that was laid on your heart when we paused for a moment and listened.
You said the word how, and so I just wanted to share with your listeners a little quip, if you will, that stuck with me and came to mind. If the why is strong enough, the what won't matter, and the how will just show up, meaning don't focus on the how.
I love that. Really important reminder. Beautiful. Thank you. As we transition to our first commercial break, I want you to think about what is being laid on your heart, listeners. When we paused for a moment and we listened, what is it that you need and are willing to receive? And I love that important reminder from Pamela that we can release that how and it'll show up. Just be willing to lean in and trust that. So as we go into our first commercial break, it's actually, lean in, I want to tell you all a secret. It's actually 2 minutes carved out in the show just for you. I invite you to resist the urge to run off or cross things off the to-do list. Stay fully present. Give yourself time to process what's being spoken into your heart and your spirit. As we pause for a moment, breathe in, receive what is being shared with you. And when we come back, we're going to dive into a deeper conversation to support you on your journey. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Voice America Women. Your passion starts here.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
For women, the pressure to achieve is stronger, the work hours longer, and the struggle for respect and authority more complex than ever. You want guidance on how to succeed, and you are not alone. You're invited to take your coffee break with Game Changers on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for our special series, Game Changing Women. Powerful women leaders will help you make sense of it all, analyze how you can change the game, and share their playbooks. Game Changing Women, presented by SAP on the Business Channel. These days, everyone is looking for information on staying young, healthy, and fit. The Voice America Health and Wellness Network is here to help you on your quest to better health and a better you. We talk about everything from diet, fitness, and aging to substance abuse, personal growth, mental health, and much more. Learn from our experts who cover health and wellness from traditional and holistic perspectives. Tune in to the Voice America Health and Wellness Network. Healthy living starts here.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you, that you took that opportunity to pause, breathe, and receive. You're going to have opportunities throughout our show to do that, and I invite you to lean in and enjoy those moments. And it gives you an opportunity to process what is being spoken into your heart and your spirit on a cellular level when we do that pausing and breathing. And what's beautiful about that is that slowing down, that pausing and breathing, allows you to integrate what is being shared with you today. So it doesn't go on your to-do list. It actually becomes part of who you are and what you're bringing to the world. So I invite you, as you have those 2-minute moments in our show and throughout your day, give yourself that opportunity to pause, breathe, and process and integrate. Wonderful. Well, welcome back. We're excited to dig into some amazing content and information that we have for you today to support you around having real conversations, real information around money and grief. So as we focus in on this next segment, it's going to be our money segment. We're going to have an amazing conversation with our first guest expert today. Her name is Pamela McCoy. She is the CEO of Bonafide, and that's spelled B as in boy, O-N-A, the number 5D. So Bonafide Consultants. She has a bachelor's in business management with a concentration in economics, and is absolutely passionate about educating, empowering, enlightening, and enriching you around money. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Pamela McCoy to the show. Woohoo! Welcome!
Thank you for that introduction, Rebecca.
You are so welcome. And I love to start with celebration when we're talking about money. I think we need to bring a little bit more of that energy in sometimes around the money conversation.
Absolutely.
Have it supporting us and empowering us. So before we get into some of the details and the information and content around money, I'd love to start with why. Why is this work of helping others in this way personally so important to you?
Well, honestly, I just feel like it's my purpose, really, to educate and empower his people. When you think about money, although it can have a negative connotation in some regards or what have you, it's foundational in everybody's life. So, to have that knowledge gives it a positive effect because it doesn't have to be negative. So, I just want to educate people to give them that empowerment, that sense of authority so that they're in control of their personal finances.
I love that. And I want everyone to hear that. Empower you. Give you that authority. I mean, there's such
authority.
Exactly. There's such powerful energy in that we can have that kind of relationship around money. So as we dig into that on a deeper level, and I appreciate you sharing your why, and I can hear, actually, even before we go into our questions here, I can hear your passion, your conviction, and you're answering that calling of, yes, I'm going to help people in this way. And I love that about you. So,
thank you. Thank you. There's no greater joy than, someone reaching their goal, whatever that is, whether it's to purchase a home, to buy a car, to improve their credit score, just to simply get out of debt and be able to just live day to day without that drudgery of, that weight that debt can bring. So,
and that pressure and the stress. And we've just worked so hard to release the stress. So, yes, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I would love for you to talk about, because you were talking about, I call it cash flow and not having debt and having all of that money support us and what we're looking to bring forward. And I know in that journey, it's really important to have a spending plan and an emergency fund. And I'd love for you to explain, what is a spending plan and what is an emergency fund?
Well, a spending plan, some might refer to it as a budget. I personally like to refer to it as a spending plan only because a budget sounds so constraining, i.e. negative, kind of like the word diet. It's like all about what you can't do, what you shouldn't do, what you won't do, whereas when you say spending plan, all that really means is we know we have to spend money, and so the spending plan just gives you the roadmap on how you're going to strategically spend that money. And so that's simply it. You're going to know what you have coming in, what you have going out, and where it's specifically going. And to your point, then when it's all said and done, do I have a positive or a negative cash flow?
Yes. Beautiful. And so I love that reframe of looking at it as a spending plan. It sounds like this plan is walking beside you and supporting you and having your funds go to where you want them to go, instead of it feeling this constricting, like budget containing kind of energy. So I love that it can actually support us. Now, can you talk a little bit about what is an emergency fund?
Well, emergency fund is simply having some assets that are liquid. And, all of us in some form or fashion were probably affected by the recent hurricanes. And so I refer to that only because it was so current. And an emergency fund was for such a time as that. Whether you needed to relocate, whether you needed to board up your home or seek shelter or those kinds of things, well, you needed some funds that weren't necessarily in your spending plan, because that's your day-to-day, month-to-month expenditures. Right? So this emergency and unexpected expense, that's what the emergency funds are for. Or it could be as simple as the engine blew on the car. I need a new set of tires, unexpected things. And you don't want to resort to a credit card. You may have to, and we can talk about that at a later date and time, but unexpected expenditures, you want to have a means of paying for and addressing those financial needs.
Thank you. And just to clarify, something, because I was in the financial industry and for quite a few years and loved it. And sometimes I found people considered certain things emergencies that perhaps maybe weren't. And so
the
things
sale at Macy's, not so much.
Yeah, just to be clear. The holidays or taxes, things that we kind of know are coming, should be in that spending plan.
Exactly. Things that are kind of day to day, your insurances, whether it's, I pay my car insurance every 6 months or every other month, those kind of things, though they're not monthly expenses, they are expenditures that are coming. And so those should be in your spending plan. So when you're talking about emergency funds, those are truly expenditures that are completely unexpected. Maybe you're saying, I need to buy tires every couple years. Well, then you hit a pothole today and it burst your tire. Well, that was completely unexpected, but you need tires on the car to get you from point A to point B, job, school, get the kids, all that kind of thing. So I got to have a tire today. I can't put it off to buy a tire my next paycheck or a month from now, or I need the tire today. So how am I going to get a tire today?
Great. Exactly. So I appreciate you spending a little bit of time kind of explaining the difference, because it's easy to get them muddled together sometimes. So listeners, really thinking about, do you know the expenses that are coming up? Do you have a plan and know how the money's going to flow through that? And that can give you a lot of peace of mind, knowing that you're going to have the funds that you need for the things that are coming up. And then having that emergency fund, because emergencies happen. It's not if, it's when. And so really knowing that and setting some funds aside can help mitigate the impact of those emergencies
and if I
that
could
happen.
add to your 401k and such as that, your investments, those are not your emergency funds. Those are your future funds, i.e. your retirement. And in extreme emergencies, those can be tapped. And I can't stress enough, extreme emergencies. So we shouldn't be relying on, I have money in my 401k, or my retirement fund, IRA, or what have you. That's not your emergency fund.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. And we are coming up really fast on our commercial break here. The time goes so quickly. So do you have one final piece of information that you would like to share in just about a minute with our listeners that they can take with them?
Just, don't get so distraught about your financial circumstance. Just really kind of like you were saying, don't get so muddled in the how. Just make up your mind that I'm not where I want to be and that I want to see change. That's the first step, and then start progressing towards that change, and you got to just start somewhere. So don't, wallow in, oh my gosh, I should have done something different. How did I get here? I shouldn't, all the coulda, shoulda, woulda. Just this day forward. I tell my clients that all the time. The only real purpose in visiting past mistakes is to learn the lesson and then move forward.
Beautiful advice.
Just this day forward.
Exactly. We can't go back in time. We can just go forward. And know that you don't have to do it alone. There are amazing experts like Pamela out there that are ready to support you and walk beside you. So know that, and they'll be they're very passionate about helping you be able to move forward in a way that is meaningful to you. So breathe that in. That support, all of that powerful information about cash flow, spending plans, emergency funds, and some of the differences, and how powerful having a plan can be to support you on your journey. We're getting ready to go to our next commercial break, and remember, that's 2 minutes just for you to pause, breathe, integrate. And I'm going to invite you, as you're doing that, see if there's something that perhaps you can release that you kind of keep going back to around money and trying to make it different. Perhaps releasing some of that and looking at what you want and how you can move forward. And with that, we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
This is the Voice America Women's Channel, where your success is limitless.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog, Press Pass? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective. Plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at vapresspass.com. That's vapresspass.com. VA Press Pass by Voice America. All access, all the time.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, allowing yourself time to process, breathe, integrate what is being shared, and perhaps release some old things, old stories that have been weighing us down a little bit around money that we keep wanting to go back instead of going forward. And so I invite you to really embrace that we can just keep moving forward in our relationship with money, in what we're looking to build and bring forward in life without being weighed down by the past. Breathe that in. Beautiful. Oh, our next guest expert that we're going to have a conversation with is going to help us around grief and loss and emotional wounding, because these are things that can stop us from being able to move forward as powerfully as we want and having that impact that we're wanting to make into the world and bring into the world. So it's really important that we take a moment to pause, breathe, and check in on grief and loss. And perhaps there's some wounding there that we can bring some peace to and some release to. So I'm really excited to share this next amazing expert. I know you're going to love her. Her name is Dr. Michelle Perticolas. She is a national speaker about grief, loss, and emotional wounding. She has a PhD in sociology, 18 plus years of coaching and supporting people around the world. She's a documentary film producer and absolutely passionate about helping you transition through things so you can move forward in an empowered way in your life and all the things that you're wanting to move forward in. Please warmly welcome the amazing Dr. Michelle Perdicolis to the show. Welcome.
Hi, Rebecca. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Hi, you are very welcome. Excited to have you joining us today. And I would love for you to share a little bit about why. Why is this work about helping people in this way personally so important to you?
Well, it's personally important to me because very early in my life, I tamped down my emotions. And this is something that, of course, our culture also encourages us to do, but we do so at our own detriment. And it was when I lost my parents that pattern got broken through. And that's one of the gifts of loss, is that can break through old patterns that we really need to heal.
Beautiful. And I just want to pause from that was so powerful. that silver lining, that gift in the losses that can help us break through some of those old patterns. And I'm sorry to hear about your loss, but I love that it allowed you to break through in a really powerful way.
It did that. It definitely did that. And even just making it possible for me to heal old wounds, it also helped me to become empowered, to connect with what my real purpose in this lifetime is about, to stop playing small, to stop being held back by fear.
Oh, beautiful. And I'd love for you to just share a little bit about that, because there's the breaking through and kind of reconnecting with what matters to you, but it sounds like it also helped you release fear and stop playing small and just really go out in a big way and share in a big way. Do you mind sharing just a little bit more about that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So when somebody dies in our lives, we come face to face with our mortality. It takes us out of the everyday reality, the everyday routine, and causes us to stop, pause, and to think about our lives. And that's what it did for me. Part of the process was experiencing emotions that I had been tamping down for years, and that really surprised me. And I got curious. So one of the things I invite people who are going through loss to think about is getting curious. What's going on? What is this all about? What's coming up for me? Instead of trying to run away, which is what we're taught to do, is to run away.
I love that. But pausing and getting curious and leaning in versus running away. Really, really beautiful. Now, I know that you have a book that you're participating that's coming out, and I thought it would tie in beautifully to our conversation right now, where we are in our conversation. Would you mind sharing a little bit about this book and what you're sharing about in the book?
Well, that's perfect. Yes, it's called Breaking Barriers. So it's the perfect title to the whole point I'm making. And I tell the story of the deaths of my parents and what it brought up for me in detail, and the lessons that I learned about how to handle grief and loss, how to move through it, and what the benefits, what the gifts were for me. I like people to think about grief as a gateway. Instead of something to be gotten through, it's actually a doorway to a whole new way of being.
Oh, that just sounds so safe, warm, and empowering, that it's a gateway through that we can lean into, that we have the opportunity to pause, open up, and lean into. Oh, really beautiful, Sharon. We look forward to your book release, and we'll be watching for that. We're very excited about that. And can you share, as we're going through that gateway, as we're stepping forward, we're talking about spring and being able to spring forward and being able to go through that gateway of grief, can you share 3 tips to support us in that journey and opening that gateway and walking through?
Yes, I do have 3 tips. The first one is to breathe and to allow the feelings. And that's really scary for most of us if we've been taught to tamp them down, maybe even as a way to survive in our early childhood. But the only way in which we can allow that emotional energy to release is by allowing the body to do its work, to release that emotional energy. So number one is breathe. Breathe deep and focus on the sensation so that you stop the mind, which is tip number two, change the story. Very often we re-trigger the emotions of grief with our thoughts. So we need to learn how to master those thoughts so that they don't throw us back into being stuck. I had a client who was grieving for 20 years the loss of her husband. 20 years. That is a process of tamping down the emotions and re-triggering the grief over and over again. And it does devastating things to the body. Now, I know I'm talking a little more than 90 seconds, but you did ask for three.
Yes, no, I want all three. Thank you.
So the third one, which is really important, is to invite support, is to get the support you need. Because when we lose somebody, we are actually triggering a survival response. Because we are social animals. We are programmed to bond. And when you have a significant bond broken, it puts you in a fear state, because you want to survive. And so we really need to reach out to other people to get that social need met. Now, they're not going to replace the person we lost, but the body needs that contact.
Beautiful. So really being willing to change the story and reach out, connect with others. Oh,
yes.
I have a question around that because I hear this a lot. When someone we know has experienced a loss, our heart goes out to them. We want to help. We want to reach out, but we want to honor their process, let them know we care. So a lot of times what we'll say is, let me know if I can help any way. Let me know if I can do anything. I'm here for you. Is there another way we can approach that, or if someone's saying that to us, respond so that it's easier to do that reach out part? Because it can be hard. We're sometimes just trying to breathe. Do you have some suggestions or advice in that interaction that happens?
Well, if you're the person who's trying to help, what that person needs is somebody to listen to them. They need to be able to tell the story because their brain is trying to process this it may be not catastrophic, but it's shocking to suddenly have somebody and then not have that person. So the brain has to develop new neural networks inside. And so telling the story is helpful.
Okay.
At the same time, you want to limit it. You don't want to go on and on and on because then you just re-trigger the loss. So if you're asking for help, one of the things that I suggest is asking for about 10 minutes of airtime. Can I talk to you about this for 10 minutes? That invites, and I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen.
Yes.
That helps the person that's helping you to know what's exactly expected and to know that it's a limited amount of time so they don't get swamped in your grief.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, because I find that there's such intent and love that people are trying to bring to each other and connect, but they don't always know how to navigate those waters. So that's really clear and powerful and doable. I really appreciate you sharing that. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And I know you have lovingly prepared an amazing gift for our listeners today. And listeners, I'm going to let you know how to access this gift in just a moment. But Dr. Michelle, I would love for you to share what this gift is so that our listeners can feel into it and see if it's something that would serve them.
Well, this is a really powerful audio that's called Stress Release Body Scan. Remember I said that the number one tip was to breathe and to allow your emotions to release. Well, this particular audio actually walks you through that process. And here's an interesting thing. We can actually release our emotional energy in 2 minutes or less when we follow this recipe.
So just in these 2 minutes, we can shift our place from a stressed place of being to a relaxed, peaceful place of being. Is that what I'm hearing you
That's
say?
what you're hearing. Yes.
Oh, how powerful. So by leaning in and saying yes to this gift, they're going to get that process and support to be able to move into that place of peace. Is that correct? Oh,
that's correct.
Love it. I just want to make sure I heard that correctly.
You heard it correctly.
Super powerful. What an amazing gift. I appreciate you making that available. And I was thinking that can apply to so many areas, whether it's grief or it can be money, or it can be that we're stepping into a new space. This is a gift that can really support all of us. And what an amazing gift to be able in 2 minutes shift that place of being. So thank you, Dr. Michelle, for sharing today, for making this gift available. I so appreciate it. And listeners, she also shared with me behind the scenes a couple more things about this gift I just wanted to let you know about. By leaning in and saying yes to this gift, she will graciously send it to you. But on top of that, she's going to keep you in the loop of upcoming events and workshops and things that she's doing. So if you're wanting to lean into additional support, she's going to make that really easy for you and available to you. So I love that as well. I think that's another bonus gift that you get in leaning into this. We are getting ready to transition to our next 2-minute breaks, or 2 minutes to stop, pause, breathe, receive, integrate what's being shared in your heart and spirit. And if this is a gift that would be supportive to you, I want to encourage you to write this down. It's radiogifts.net. radiogifts.net. That's a link that you can go to. You put in your name and email address. It'll open up this beautiful world to you of gifts and resources, all yours to peruse and enjoy, and our gift to support you on your journey. You will find Dr. Michelle Perdicolis' gift on today's date, which is February 27th. You simply scroll down, put your name and your email address in, and she will make that resource available to you, and we'll also get to stay in touch. Let's take a moment to pause, breathe. I'm going to say it one more time. I want you to get the gifts that are supportive to you, radiogifts.net, and then make sure that you stay tuned, because when we come back, we've got a couple more powerful pieces of advice to support you on your journey. We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We're making it easier to listen to the Voice America Talk Radio Network wherever you go. In addition to listening live, you can check out information about your favorite talk show hosts, discover new talk show personalities, add shows to your list of favorites, and listen to all our show archives on demand. All from your iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android. Download it from the Apple App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market, and get ready to tune in. The Voice America mobile app, powered by Aircast.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that moment to pause, breathe, connect in, lean in, and see if that gift would support you, being able to reduce our stress, move from a stress place to a peaceful, calm place in 2 minutes. Really powerful opportunity. And as we come back together, I want to invite you to take a breath with us as we connect in. Beautiful. Dig those roots in deep again. Feel the support. And know that life is not a solo journey. That we are here walking beside you, seeking to empower, encourage, and enrich your life so that you can move forward on purpose and with great purpose. Because you are a gift. You're beautifully and wonderfully made and absolutely needed for such a time as this. And I want to invite you to allow others to walk beside you too and to join in on that journey. Because together we can touch more hearts, more lives. And it's a more joyful journey as well when we allow ourselves to connect deeply with others. And I'm so honored that you are willing to connect in deeply with us and let us walk beside you in your journey and support you. Behind the scenes, I asked both of our amazing experts that you've gotten to know a little bit about and hear their passion and some of their wisdom and expertise. I asked them that as we are bringing our time together to a close, what is a final thought or a share that they want to give to you to encourage you, inspire you, empower you on your journey as you go back out into the world? So with that, Pamela, I would love for you to share what was laid on your heart.
Okay, I will share 2 inspirations from my book that kind of I'd like to leave with them to ponder. And one is the best thing about the past is it shows you what not to bring into your future. And the second inspiration is though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. And that's a quote from Karl Bard. So if they can just kind of marinate on those, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying before in this day forward.
Yes. I claim that for all of us, this day forward. Beautiful. Thank you. And Dr. Michelle, what was laid on your heart?
Well, interestingly, I was reminded of the regrets of the dying. And the number one regret of the dying is not living a life true to yourself. So when somebody dies, that reminds you about our mortality and to remember why you're here. What is your true purpose? What do you need to be doing? And to remember that as much as you can.
Beautiful. And I'm even, as you're sharing that, it's sparking in my spirit this really staying true, be inspired to bring forward that matters most to you.
Yes.
That we can live a life in that way. And I appreciate you sharing that perspective from those that are dying, that's their number one regret. And right now, as we move forward, as we stay forward, we can choose to bring forward those things that matter most to us. Those things we dream of someday being or doing, we can bring into the now and bring that forward. Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Michelle. I appreciate you sharing that. Listeners, let's take a collective breath. Breathe that in. And I want you to just take a moment and pause and see what is being laid on your heart. Think about how we began our conversation, what it was that you needed today to encourage you, to empower you on your journey that you are willing to receive. When we're looking at what you want to bring forward, how you want to be in your life. Reflect back on our conversation and during those pauses what was being spoken into your heart and to your spirit. And I want to invite you to implement. Be willing to receive that which is here for you today and throughout the day. Be looking for it with eager anticipation and excitement, not attached to the how, but willing to lean in and receive. And actively look for a way to take one step closer to those things that matter most to you. That when you look back on your life, you're going to celebrate that you leaned in, that you said yes to stepping forward in this way. That today you get to step forward in those things that matter most to you. That as you go back out into the world, remember that you were made beautifully and powerfully for such a time as this. And be willing, wherever you go, whatever you do, be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and I'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.